Training the Cowboy Billionaire, a Chappell Brothers novel. Bluegrass Ranch, Book 3. Written by Emmy Eugene. Narrated by Dana Day with Daytime Productions. Training the Cowboy Billionaire. Chapter 1. Trey Chappell loved his mother's cooking, and while she'd lured him here with the promise of chicken and dumplings, he didn't entirely hate it. It was time, anyway. The conversation had been fine, better than fine. Good. He'd talked about the upcoming yearling sale, as well as Blaine's engagement, and he hadn't once had to answer a question he didn't want to. Trey didn't actually mind answering questions, if he knew the answers to them. The problem was that his mother liked to ask him things he didn't know how to answer. He wasn't sure why he couldn't let go of Sarah. He wasn't sure why he'd put all the blame on God and lost his faith. Deep down, he still believed in the loving, benevolent God his parents had taught him about. At the same time, he couldn't believe that the Lord would allow his heart to be so completely trampled on, despite Sarah's ability to make her own choices. He didn't know why he hadn't been able to make another relationship work, though he'd tried. He didn't know why he was so drawn to Beth Dixon, and he had no idea why he hadn't been able to give a sure answer to her proposal. She'd asked him to marry her so they could enter the Sweetheart Classic together. Really, so she could enter her horse into the Sweetheart Classic. She hadn't gone into details, but Trey could still hear her say, "I need the money, Trey. Plain and simple." He'd said he'd let her know when he came to clear her garden. That had been last week, and while they'd gotten the work done, when he'd gotten a moment alone with Beth, he'd told her he needed more time to come to a final decision. Her time was running out, and Trey felt it ticking away second by second, the clicking actually loud in his ears. They had to be married by Halloween, with his name on the horse's certificate before she could register it for the Sweetheart Classic. It wasn't October yet, but it would be in a few days, and he really needed to come to a decision. "Are you seeing anyone new?" Mom asked, and Trey put the last bite of his chicken and dumplings in his mouth. He took a few seconds to chew and swallow, trying to formulate.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?